Okay, Deborah. For the record, I'll do everything. Kick him.
Oh, that's terrible. Because I said people can be brought together over that kind of humor, which is obviously the case. It's empirically the fact. I just show you.
Bro, just say it's a tree of life. Why you gotta keep you?
Huge numbers of people coming together of all races.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. So when we go back to the double standard, how is that hypocrisy? It would be hypocrisy if you did. It's not. It would be hypocrisy if you deviated from your set double standard. By having a double standard and a separate set of rules for people that you objectively look at in your own separate way is not hypocrisy. That's human nature.
I agree with you. What I'm pointing out is the hypocrisy.
I got a shrimp bowl.
That this should be for all. And you open up. So the reality is that, like,
I know all these
guys protection. It's clearly not for all people.
You missed what I meant all. I didn't mean every person. I meant every type of person. I'm talking about all groups.
No problem.
Yeah. So
I agree with. I understood that, and I'm saying it's clearly not the case that it's for every type of person.
No.
Because there's a type of people.
To be clear, I think you're
He's never gonna let you get it off. Every time you talk, he's gonna stop you. It's his tactic. He never wants to let you make an entire point. It's fucking crazy.
Now that's hypocrisy because concrete does the same shit.
It's not hypocrisy. It's actual fact that he's doing it. He's doing it. He's going to continue to cut you off every time you're gaining momentum, Huey. He sees that you've already mantled his stupid point.
Quit trying to black. Chill out. Huey, listen, what I'm saying is this. I'm saying every ethnicity, every race is subject to this. I'm not talking about individual people. We're not saying that.
But are you talking about sexuality?
Said in the name of Rabbi Yitzhak Moshe.
Sexual orientation.
Yes.
Okay, cool, no problem. And what I'm trying to point out is that when it comes to trans issues, all of a sudden the jokes aren't funny. So I'm not talking about.
You're saying that to me, or you're saying that to broadly.
Okay.
Hold on.
Let me make sure. Wait.
That's not what he said. He didn't say trans jokes weren't funny. He said he hadn't heard of funny trans jokes.
Yeah, we know that.
I didn't say. Okay, I didn't say he said that trans jokes aren't funny. But I am pointing out that your behavior historically, when it comes to like issues or trans jokes, hasn't been to treat the spirit of the jokes told.
They're not funny.
Coming from a place.
Okay.
No, wait.
Let him finish.
Okay.
Shut up,
Andrew. I can do it too, Andrew.
Andrew, did you find it hypocritical that you claimed not to be racist, but you told Lion Zion that you wanted to bring back slavery?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to just move you down.
Oh, my gosh, watching anything?
Move him down. Just move him down. Thank you.
Listen. Hold on. Let me explain something where my misunderstanding might be. When you say all types of people, for me, what that infers is that you're talking about different kinds of identities and not necessarily like specific individuals or any. Okay. So classes of people. So you can talk about race, ethnicity, including gender, and gender would be one of the types of classes. Sexual identity would be all of those types of classes. Except you clearly don't believe it's relevant to all of those types of classes. I think you think. From my observation, it doesn't seem like you behave as if all of those types of classes are very subject to.
Because here's the problem. Let me explain it to you. Here's Piper and come at Sasha.
Remember when I told you he wasn't going to let you get a fucking thought out completely?
Shut up.
Remember when I told you that?
Shut up.
He's doing it. And you know what's so crazy? He has no shame. He has no shame. And that's the saddest part about it.
I think now's a
The
great time.
internet power has gone to his head.
Now is a great time to mention that Concrete makes gorilla sounds at me, and he's a black.
All the time. He's a racist himself. But
So throw him a banana so he can stop interrupting.
Tell Andrew to stop interrupting, weirdo. Booty clapping weirdo.
Let me finish what I'm saying to you, because I think you're tracking me. So, look, it is the case that people in the past have come at Sasha Piper, but you need to understand, first of all, let's just be real. We don't know a lot of trans people in these communities, okay? We're talking about Sasha Piper, and I don't know who else, right? Okay, that's basically what we're talking about.
Protect the trans. Fuck the niggers. Protect the trans. Fuck the niggers. That's what you're saying. Thank you. We got it. Thank you.
Shut up, you numbskull. Okay,
Now, there are people that are upper tier in their intelligence. They're kind of in the top tier.
Wow.
And some are both in that group. Okay, they're both upper tier. Now, here's the point: when people come in and that turns into a thing where there's like a retaliation of some sort, usually, I'm just going to tell you, the person that's giving the joke is the idiot, usually, and it's not funny. It's not well delivered. It's done in haste, and it doesn't. There's no clever punchline. There's no like, hey, the good timing. It's just dumb. They're just trying to. And I don't even perceive it as a joke. So maybe this is what you're talking about. The things that they're saying, you're saying, well, you're not giving credence to it as being a joke. Look, I think, and this might be a controversial statement, but I think there's some objectivity to humor. Okay, so if somebody comes in and says something that I think is just completely off the charts, not
please
funny,
tell me, are you buying this bullshit?
Shut up, idiot!
Are you
Concrete? Shut up, man! You're really trying hard today. Just shut up. The stuff that's being said in chat, usually it's in chat because they've been moved down by a mod. The stuff that's being said in chat doesn't have the punch at all of being funny. It doesn't come
This
across
feels like
as being
B-Master all over again.
Come on,
Mixed with a little something else.
Shut up, idiot. So my point classified as humor. It's not even funny. I don't even put it in that class. Now, if I have heard trans jokes that have been funny. I think Dave Chappelle's made trans jokes that are funny. I think people have made jokes that are funny about sexual orientation. I've seen it across the board. All different classes. Okay? But just typically, I don't see that in the room that we're in. So that's why you won't see that. That's all.
Right, and so the problem now I'm having is that it feels like you contradicted yourself in two parts. One, Bob came to your defense just now to clarify that you were saying that you haven't heard a funny trans joke. Is it?
Okay, this is Israel Shabbos.
He had not been master of the house husband, he would have been punished for what he said, but since he was not punished. It is like a man who falls into an argument with his wife and speaks harshly to her. She starts to get upset, but as the words begin to fly, the king appears and takes up the word. She turns silent and says nothing more. The king says to him, "Do you not know that I am king? It is as if you spoke these words against me." Here too, as if it were possible, "Why did you wrong this people?" At once Elohim spoke to Moses. She started to get upset. At once the king took up the word. He said to him, "I am Yahweh. Do you not know that I am king? You spoke it." Rabbi Yosef said, "Moses, if he had not been master of the house husband of Elohim, he would have been punished for what he said, but since he was not punished. It is like a man who falls into an argument with his wife and says to her. She starts to get upset, but as the words begin to fly, the king appears and takes up the word. She turns silent and says nothing more. The king says to him, "Do you not know that I am king? It is as if you spoke these words against me." Here too, as if it were possible, Moses returned to Yahweh. He said, "Adonai, why did you wrong this people?" At once Elohim spoke to Moses. She started to get upset. At once took up the word. He said to him, "I am Yahweh. Do you not know that I am king? You spoke it." Rabbi Yosef said, "Moses, if he had not been master of the house husband of Elohim, punished for what he said, but since he was not punished. It is like a man who falls into an argument with his wife and speaks harshly to her.
Run, Andrew, run!
I'm answering Concrete's question,
Concrete's an idiot.
and Andrew is rebutting.
Huey, what do you call a person who used to be transgender? A transformer.
Yeah.
Watch me get kicked for it. Watch me get kicked for it.
Transformer.
Transformers.
against the trans and blah, 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 blah. In these rooms, of course I've heard trans jokes that are funny. I wasn't saying that I've never heard a trans. You guys shut up, you idiot.
Okay, no, Andrew, I understood. Look, I've been here for for most of this conversation.
Okay, you playing beyond.
Okay, hold on. One of the issues I'm having is this, right? You could make a choice at any given moment in any of these particular rooms to attack the individual, but instead you decide to perhaps extrapolate some broader sort of context for the individual when you tell a racialized joke. And if we're talking about racialized jokes or racist jokes, then we're no longer like having a conversation strictly main or territory of the individual, right? Which is fine, we can do that. Like, you can tell jokes, funny jokes about races. You can tell funny racist jokes, but you could also
But what's your point, though, Huey? I mean,
Shut up so he can make the fucking point.
I need to get something on my chest said by every trans guy ever.
Then grab a napkin.
Yeah, just oh gosh.
Then deflate your man boobs.
Listen, Andrew. My worry here is this: in order for us to have this dialogue, right, we both have to be able to engage in the dialectics here. And I feel like part of what you're doing by interrupting or interjecting arbitrarily is something called dialectic obfuscation, right? If I can't necessarily land the point, then you can only really contend with like half the issue. I'm trying to flush out the entire issue.
Okay, I will see. Go ahead.
Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Yitzhak, Moses was worried that Israel. Pharaoh, Israel, and God, Yahweh, hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued the children of Israel. As the children of Israel were departing boldly, the Egyptians pursued them and overtook them and camped by the sea. He wrote before Baal-Zephon. Pharaoh drew near. The children of Israel lifted their eyes. There was Egypt advancing upon them. They were frightened. Children of Israel cried out to Yahweh. Pharaoh drew near. Rabbi Yosef said it had been said that he brought Israel to the point of turning back to God. Pharaoh drew them near. It is written, Yahweh sought you, pouring out a whispered prayer. In distress they sought you. Pharaoh, Israel does not seek the Blessed Holy One when they are comfortable. Only when they are in trouble, then all of them remember him and seek him, pouring out a whispered prayer. They all pray the prayers and pleadings. They pour out prayers to him. When your chastisement falls upon them, the moment the Blessed Holy One hands them over to his scourge, he stands over them compassionately. The voice of prayer pleases him, so the enemies of Israel are called to account. He is filled with compassion for his people, as we have established a parable, the dove and the hawk. A dove escaped from the hawk and took refuge in the cleft of a rock. There she found a serpent nesting. She tried to enter, but could not because the serpent was there. Could she go back? She could not because the hawk was poised for attack. What did she do? She began to cry and clap her wings so the owner of the dovecote would hear her and come to save her. So Israel drew near to the sea.
Israel does not see.
So Israel drew near to the sea. They saw the sea raging, its waves surging. They were frightened. They lifted their eyes and saw Pharaoh and his army with shooting stones and catapults. They were very frightened. What did they do? The children of Israel cried out. Who brought it about that Israel drew near to their father above? Pharaoh. This is what is written. Pharaoh drew them near. This has already been said. Manna and wisdom. Yahweh said to Moses, I am about to rain down for you bread from heaven. Moses said to Aaron, say to the whole assemblage of the children of Israel, approach Yahweh, for he has heard your grumbling. As Aaron spoke to the whole assemblage of the children of Israel, they turned to face the desert, for there the presence of Yahweh had appeared in the cloud. That evening the quail rose and covered the camp. In the morning there was a fall of dew around the camp. The fall of dew rose.
So
The fall of dew rose, and there on the face of the desert a fine coating as fine as frost from the ground. The children of Israel saw, they said to one another, what is it? For they did not know what it was. Moses said to them, it is the bread that Yahweh has given you to eat. Come and see, every single day dew trickles down from the holy ancient one to the impatient one. And the orchard of holy apple trees is blessed. Some of the goes to those below. Holy angels are nourished by it, each according to his diet, as it is written, a human ate angel bread. Israel ate of that food in the desert. Rabbi Shimon said some people are nourished by it even now. Who are they? The comrades who engage in Torah day and night. Do you think they are nourished by that very food? No, by something like that very food, two balancing one. And see, when Israel entered and joined themselves to the holy king by uncovering the holy marking, pure enough to eat another kind of bread. First, when Israel went out of Egypt, they went into the bread called matzah. Now they were purer. They went in to eat higher bread from a higher sphere. As it is written, I am about to rain down for you bread from heaven, literally from heaven. It was then that Israel discovered the taste of this sphere. Comrades, from an even higher sphere, which is that. That which is written, wisdom gives life to those who have it, a very high sphere. Rabbi Eleazar said to him, if so, why are they weaker than other human beings? Other human beings are stronger and more powerful. The comrades should be the stronger ones. He said to him, a good question, come and see. All human food comes from above. The food that comes from heaven and earth is for the whole world. It is the food for all. It is coarse and dense. The food that comes from higher above is finer food, coming from the sphere where judgment is found. This is the food that Israel ate when they went out of Egypt. The food found by Israel that time in the desert from the higher sphere called heaven. It is an even finer food, entering deepest of all into the soul, detached from the body, called angel bread. Highest food of all is the food of the comrades, those who engage Torah. They eat food of the spirit and the soul breath. They eat no food for the body at all, rather from a high sphere, precious beyond all wisdom. That is why a comrade's body is weaker than a normal body. They do not eat food for the body at all. They eat food for the spirit and the soul breath from some place far beyond, most precious of all. So the food is finest of the fine, finest of all. Happy is the portion. As it is written, wisdom gives life to those who have it. Happy is the body that can nourish itself on food of the soul. Rabbi Eleazar said to him, certainly this is true, but how can such food be found now?
He answered, certainly a good question. Come and see, this is the clarity of the word, the food of the comrades engaging. Torah is most precious of all. This food flows from wisdom on high. Why from the sphere? Because Torah derives from wisdom on high, and those who engage Torah enter the source of her roots, so the food flows down from that high and holy sphere. Rabbi Eliezer came and kissed his hands. He said, happy is my portion. I understand these words. Happy is the portion of the righteous, engaging Torah day and night. Entitles them to this world and the world that is coming, as it is written, that is your life and the expanse of your days. Is there anyone like Moses? On the third new moon, after the children of Israel had gone forth from the land of Egypt, on the very day they entered the desert of Sinai, they journeyed from Rephidim, entered the desert of Sinai, encamped in the desert. Israel camped there, facing the mountain, and Moses went up to Elohim. Happy is Moses, he attained the presence. Torah herself is his witness. Moses went up to Elohim. Rabbi Judah taught, come and see the rest of the world. For the rest of the world, going up means greater wealth, prestige, and power. But when Moses went up, what is written? Moses went up to Elohim. Happy is he. Rabbi Yosef said, this is the origin of the saying of Eds. One who comes to purify himself, they help him, for it is written, Moses went up to Elohim. What is written next? Yahweh called to him. One who desires to draw himself near, they draw him near. Yahweh called to him from the mountain, saying, thus shall you say to the house of Jacob. Rabbi Yitzhak opened, happy is the one you choose and bring near. He will dwell in your courts. Happy is the human being whom the Blessed Holy One is drawn to. Happy is the human being whom the Blessed Holy One is drawn to, whom he draws near to dwell in the palace. Whomever he desires, for his work is marked with markings of the beyond, to show that he has been chosen by the high and holy King to dwell in his dwelling. Whoever displays that sign passes through all gates of the beyond. No one can stop him. Rabbi Judah said, happy is Moses. This verse was written for him. Happy is the one choose and bring near. Of him it is written, Moses drew near to the thick darkness. Moses alone shall draw near Yahweh. They shall not draw near. All of Israel saw the letters Anoki, a secret of secrets for those who know wisdom. The moment these letters came forth, secretly circling as one, a spark flashed out to engrave. A flowing measure extended 10 cubits on the side and shot out comets. A flowing measure extended 10 cubits on this side and outshot comets inside comets. 71 sparks burst into flashes up high and down below, then quieted down and rose up high beyond. The flow measured out 10 cubits on the other side, and comets shot out in colors like before, and so on every side. The spark expanded, whirling round and round. Sparks burst into flashes and rose high above. The heavens blazed with all their powers. Everything flashed and sparkled as one. Then the spark turned from the side of the south and outlined a curve from there to the east, and from the east to the north, until it had circled back to the south as before. Then the sparks swirled, disappearing, comets and flashes dimmed. Now they came forth, these carved flaming letters, flashing like gold when it dazzles, like a craftsman smelting silver and gold when he takes...
flowing measure extended
Like a craftsman smelting silver and gold when he takes them out of the blazing fire, all was bright and pure. So the letters came forth, pure and bright, from the flowing measure of the spark. Therefore it is written, the word of Yahweh is refined. The silver and gold are refined. When these letters came forth, they were all refined, carved precisely, sparkling, flashing. All of Israel saw the letters flying through space in every direction, engraving themselves on the tablets of stone. The old man and the beautiful maiden. Rabbi Hiya and Rabbi Yossi met one night at the Tower of Tyre. They stayed there as guests, delighting in each other. Rabbi Yossi said, I am so glad to see the face of Shekhinah. For just now, the whole way here, I stood by an old man, a donkey driver, kept asking me riddles the whole way. What is a serpent that flies in the air and wanders alone while an ant lies peacefully between its teeth? Beginning in union, it ends in separation.
Like the craftsman smelting silver and gold when he.
What is an eagle that nests in a tree that never was? Its young, who have been plundered, who are not created creatures, lie somewhere uncreated. When they go up, they come down. Coming down, they go up. Two who are one, and one who is three. What is a beautiful maiden who has no eyes and a body concealed and revealed? She comes out in the morning and is hidden all day. She adorns herself with adornments that are not. All this he asked on the way. I was annoyed. Now I can relax. If we had been together, we would have engaged in words of Torah instead of strange words of chaos. Rabbi Hiya said, that old man, the donkey driver, do you know anything about him? He answered, I know that there is nothing in his words. If he knew anything, he should have opened with Torah. Then the way would not have been empty. Rabbi Hiya said, that donkey driver, is he here? For sometimes in those empty fools you discover bells of gold.
What?
He said to him, here he is, fixing up his donkey with food. They called to him. He came before them. He said to them, now 2 or 3 and 3 are like one. Rabbi Yosef said, didn't I tell you that all his words are empty nonsense? He sat before them and said, rabbis, I turned into a donkey driver only a short time ago. Before I wasn't one. But I have a small son, and I put him in school. I want him to engage Torah. When I find one of the rabbis traveling on the road, I guide his donkey from behind. Today I thought that I would hear new words of Torah, but I haven't heard anything. Rabbi Yosef said, of all the words I heard you say, there was one that really amazed me. Either you said it out of folly or they are empty words. The old man said, and which one is that? He said, the one about the beautiful maiden. The old man opened and said, Yahweh is on my side. I have no fear. What can any human do to me? Yahweh is by my side, helping me. It is good to take refuge in Yahweh.
He said to him, here he.
How good and pleasant and precious and high are words of Torah. How can I say them in front of rabbis from whose mouths until now I haven't heard a single word, but I shall say them. Because there is no shame in at words of Torah in front of everyone. The old man covered himself. The old man opened and said, Moses went inside the cloud and ascended the mountain. What is this cloud? The one of which it is written, I have placed my bow in the cloud. We have learned that the rainbow took off her garments, gave them to Moses wearing the garment. Moses went up the mountain. From inside it he saw what he saw, delighting in the all up to that place. Comrades approached and threw themselves down in front of the old man. They cried and said, if we have come into the world only to hear these words from your mouth, it is enough. The old man said, friends, comrades, not for this alone did I begin the word. An old man like to prattle with just a single word. Human beings are so confused in their minds.
man falls into an argument.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm leaving the gym now. I'll text my ETA in a few minutes.
Okay, good Shabbos. Talk to you soon.
All right, good shot.
Shabbos is here, Zohar. The Book of Wisdom.
Pleasant and precious and higher words of Torah. How can I say them in front of rabbis from whose mouths until now I haven't heard a single word, but I shall say them, because there is no shame at all in saying words of Torah. The old man covered himself. The old man opened and said, Moses went inside the cloud and ascended the mountain. What is this cloud? The one of which it is written, I placed my bow in the cloud. We have learned that the rainbow took off her garments, gave them to Moses wearing the garment. Moses went up the mountain. From inside it he saw what he saw, delighting in the all up to that place. Comrades approached and threw themselves down in front of the old man. They cried and said, if we come into the world only to hear these words from your mouth, it is enough. The old man said, friends, comrades, not for this alone did I begin the word. An old man like me doesn't try to...
Why is the Sleep Number smart bed worth it?
It's probably the most comfortable place to be. The adjustability on each side. Having the ability to adjust it to what my body needs on it. My husband tends to keep it a little harder and I keep it a little softer, and it really helps me get a good night's sleep. The bed is worth it.
Visit sleepnumber.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington, an original shark from Shark Tank. Backed by a team of dedicated professionals with expertise in finance, technology, and investing, NERP is committed to transforming the investment world. By blending traditional investment methods with the technology advancements of today, they can help you carve a path towards a more prosperous financial future. And joining me today is the CEO, Jeff Seckinger. Jeff, thanks for being here today. It's awesome to have you. Let's talk about NERP and why you decided to found NERP.
So I've been in the investment world for 10 years now. I work for the largest bank in the United States in asset management, and I like to study rates of any industry that I'm getting into. So in this example, I was looking into trading, and I found a guy named Jim Simons that ran a company called Renaissance Technology. Ever heard of him or no?
I haven't. No.
So most people have not, but he was the most successful hedge fund manager of all time. He averaged 66% per year for 30 years.
Oh boy.
So his
66% for 33 years. Wow.
Heavy is the human being whom the blessed Holy One is drawn to, whom he draws near to dwell in the palace. Whoever he desires for his work is marked with markings of beyond, to show that he has been chosen by the king to dwell in his dwelling. Whoever displays that sign paces through all gates.
Yeah, if they're still there. Well, it's just Fiona.
Have you heard any words of Torah this Shabbos?
Banana. Yeah, I don't see the room.
Polyphemus, are you lifting any weights? Are you going to the gym at all?
No.
You are one lazy Torah scholar. You call yourself Jewish?
I'm not Jewish. The fuck?
Then what are you? Hello? Where did you come from? You're just here for the hairy ball sex, aren't you? This is pathetic and disgusting. Oh. Danny. Danny has returned to our Shabbos Torah study, breaking the rules of the Kabbalah Shabbat. Pure balsam wood, Harry. Pure balsam wood!